Online right now, Sister Debbie. Or Sister Jennifer Plunkett. I guess they can hear us now. I can hear me. Sister Jennifer Plunkett. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're waiting on Elijah, so is he coming? Okay. Okay, who got a question? Anybody got a question? In-house? So I'm gonna do this till Elijah shows up. And then,
I got a quick question. Small. Yeah, but you have something to do, right?
yeah.
Is there a difference, what's the basic difference between a law and a commandment? They're both the same, but like.
Yeah, they pretty much the same, and we're gonna let Brother Fontaine take care of that.
AKA Jew Rawls.
Well, likely it might be 20 minutes.
Yeah, we know what that is. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you did. That's all I'm looking at. That's all I'm looking at.
What happened? Check, check. Who's cordless mic? Cordless mic. Test here.
Okay. This, the difference between a law and a commandment, is one outdate the other, and it's just the same thing?
Same thizzle. Psalm 119. Now we can get into a couple of nuances, but there's not, I won't say there's huge nuances between the law and commandments, but when we got precepts, we can get into nuances of precepts, testimonies, precepts, those are some nuances, but law and commandments, I mean, Psalm 119, they're synonymous.
This is what, why does it say law and commandments? Should it just say the laws are the commandments?
Just like it says,
changeable?
watch it, just like it says Jeshurun and Israel. Just like it says Israel and Ephraim. Like the northern kingdom was called Ephraim, but I mean, it was called Ephraim, but it was called Israel because Ephraim was the largest tribe in Israel. Shahid's voice, therefore, they were the northern kingdom. So that's why when it talks about, so I'm just giving you examples of it saying, using the conjunction, but it's, you know, the same thing. Psalm 119, we're going to dance with the stars real quick. And I mean, feel free, we can piranha pit it. Psalm 119. All right, so watch this. In Psalm 119, precepts is said, the word precepts is 18 times. Words is 33 times. Commandments is 22 times. Law is 25 times. Statutes is 19 times. Judgments is 14 times. And testimonies is 19 times. Y'all think I read Psalms 119? To make sure. So, watch this. Psalm 119, verse 1. We're just going to dance with it.
Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord.
So if you walk in the way of the Lord, it will make you undefiled. Right? Skip down to verse 4. Go ahead. Matter of fact, give me 2. We're going to dance. Let's just dance and have some fun.
Blessed are they that keep his testimonies, and that seek him with the whole heart.
Now, testimonies, which you didn't ask, and I won't get into that. I was about to get into the nuances of that. Skip that. We'll strike that for now. Skip down to verse 6. Verse 6. So, give me verse 1 again.
Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord.
Skip down to verse 6. Go ahead, sir.
Then shall I not be ashamed, when I have respect unto all thy commandments.
So, synonymous. Law, commandments. Now, when it says the law, now let's get into almost borderline semantics, which I hate, right? When it says the law of Moses is talking about the whole body of work, and I'm talking about when somebody gets bodied.
Like the Torah, for example,
Bam. But what is the Torah comprised of?
his commandments and his laws.
Judgment.
Next question. But bam, there you go. And we can keep dancing if you want to dance some more, but that's it.
No problems?
No, dance off.
You want to dance a little bit?
No, same.
Go ahead.
119.
Come on.
Same right here, Psalms 119, and just jump right over to verse 18 and 19. I just want you to see this as well. When you get there, brother, read verse 18.
Open thou mine eyes, that I may behold wondrous things out of thy law.
And inside, check out, he said, open mine eyes. So you know this is something about seeing with your eyes. Verse 19.
I am a stranger in the earth. Hide not thy commandments from me.
The only way you can hide is if you hide them from your eyes, because you're looking to see things. So therefore, open mine eyes, that I may behold thy wondrous things out of the law. And then he goes and says, and hide not thy commandments. So he's showing you with the eyes, dealing with the law and the commandment, the same. You see?
Yes, sir. All right. Tabernacle. All right, next question. Brian voice. And the answer is? So,
You got it, man.
excuse me.
Just to use this for edification coming across people, Acts chapter 5, verse 30.
Yeah, we got a little feedback, Jackson, and I ain't talking about Jason.
You can start at 29.
He dropped off, what's her name?
He might be kept doing the times.
You talking about Mark? Let me see, let me turn these in a different direction. And not break one. Okay. I think we good in the hood. All right, where we at?
So Acts 5, you can start at 29. Man, can you explain using the Old Testament, the meaning of verse 30 and the context?
Turn down the cordless mic, please. Who am I talking to?
The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I'm talking straight Wizard of Oz right now. You said Acts
We're going to
5.
read Acts 5, 29 and 30. But I would like you to explain to me in context what that's saying in the Old Testament based on pretty much what verse 30 is saying. How do I explain that?
Oh, to somebody that this is something that, okay, let's read it and then I'm gonna give a little bit more
I think you know what I'm trying to
detail. But I don't want to lead the witness. So
Yeah, no, I just want a good explanation
strictly
and
using the Old Testament.
edification, right?
Acts 5, you said 29
29 and 30.
and 30.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, brother.
Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men. The God of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom he slew and hanged on a tree.
So that's more the explanation part. The God of our fathers raised up Jesus.
Oh, I got this. I got you. Easy. Deuteronomy 31. Yes.
5, 29 and 30.
Now, okay, so how would I use the Old Testament to illustrate Jesus who God raised up, who they slew?
No, they're saying that the God of their fathers raised Jesus. That's the Father. I didn't, from my understanding.
Oh, so it's a doctrine associated with this.
Yeah, the one that Jesus ain't in the Old, that's not Jesus in the Old Testament.
Is that that's what we get?
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Oh, that's the Father and the whole.
Deuteronomy 31.
Yeah,
What
just
are they
looking for
talking
those.
about?
something that I could use, because this
Yeah.
it's gonna come out eventually.
Okay. So the doctrine is Jesus is not in the Old Testament.
That he's not God.
Yeah, he's the Son of God, he's not God. Yeah,
Because
the
it
semantics.
said using. You see how they could try to.
Yeah, let me get that Acts 5 again, man.
Okay.
Let me get that Acts 5 one more again. And I have to do this in the Old Testament, correct? Oh, yeah, okay, so Acts 5, give me 29 and 30.
Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
So we ought to obey God rather than men. Okay, go ahead.
The God of our fathers raised up Jesus,
Stop. The God of our fathers raised up Jesus. Go ahead.
whom he slew and hanged on a tree.
And the doctrine is Jesus is not God because the Father raised him up.
Yeah. Why would it say that in the new? Old should say the same.
Well, then we get into, well, okay. Deuteronomy 31. No, I got a direct F-31. F-35. Yeah. 31. Hold on real quick. Give me a second. Okay. 1 second. I'm going to take you to where... Hold on real quick. Oh, yeah, there we go. Hold on 1 second, bro. Y'all be safe. Hold on real quick. I gotta find the exact words. Be safe. Deuteronomy 18, I'm sorry. It's Deuteronomy 18. That's what it is, Deuteronomy 18. Okay. Okay, start reading the verse. So, will they accept this as a prophecy? Because I got to lay the foundation with a prophecy that they can't wiggle out of. Deuteronomy 18, start at verse 15. Deuteronomy 18, verse 15. Go ahead, bro.
The Lord thy God will raise up thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken.
All right, so, almost exact verbiage of what we just read, right? Prophet unto, he's going to raise up a prophet from among their brethren. Go ahead, though, bro. Let's do the Indiana Jones on these cats. Go ahead, bro.
According to all that thou hast desirous of the Lord thy God in Horeb, in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not.
Now I'm going to be intellectually honest, because I'm going to tell you what the doctrine is, how they try to weasel out of this.
Well, they can't, but just by you going there, I guess that's just an understanding thing, because that's pretty clear.
All right, but I'm gonna show you how I hit somebody with this, and I'll take you to where they took me to weasel out of it. Because I'll be intellectually honest about it. Verse 17, sir.
And the Lord said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth.
Stop. And I will put my words in his mouth. Go ahead, sir.
And he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
Come on.
And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him.
So he said, if you don't listen to the words that he shall speak in my name, I'm going to require it of him, and that means death. So this is, I mean, maybe it's just an understanding thing, but this is clearly Christ. You know, we know that he's the prophet that he's talking about, that he's going to raise up from among his brethren. Now, it's more so what we're illustrating is Jesus not being God, right? Right now, I'm showing that the prophet that was spoken of will be raised up is of course Christ, because we know he came in his Father's name, etc., etc. But what you really fighting against is Jesus not being God. That's kind of a whole host of things in the Old Testament that we can deal with, right? But the verse that if they use that as an arbitrary verse to say that Christ ain't God, that's dumb, because we got too many scripts to prove that he's God. All right. So keep reading, bro. Keep reading.
Verse 19.
Come on.
And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die.
So of course we know who the prophet from among the brethren is, that's Christ. That's a whole different thing to prove. Now, proving Jesus Christ is God out of the Old Testament, that's more so easy. I mean, Isaiah 8. Now, did you hit him with all this?
No, this is a preemptive.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's gonna happen.
Oh, it must be some new doctrine. Trust me, the doctrine basically is Jesus Christ, and it's among, I can't remember which one of those camps, or three of those camps. Jesus Christ, Jesus is the Son of God and not God. And they're getting that, I think they're getting that from, I want to say Geno Wickman, and there's this camp out of Canada. Lee dealt with some of those cats before that was talking about, because the whole thing is semantics. Jesus Christ is the Son of God and not God. But the problem is, so you want strictly the Old Testament?
Yeah, because we go to this new one.
Right. Isaiah 8. Yep. I mean, this right here, this is one of those where, and of course, you know, let us create man in our image, you know, all that stuff. You got that.
Yeah, I can explain that.
Right.
But just in case they go there, that's just in case. Wait.
All right. Isaiah, give me Isaiah 9, I'm sorry. I mean, like, dude, seriously? I don't know how, and I'll give you all the peripheral scriptures that I got, you know, kind of like, you know. Isaiah 9, and now I'm going to tell you, before I read this, I'm going to tell you what the weasel out of it is. They say this scripture is talking about Isaiah. I'm going to tell you offhand, being intellectually honest. Isaiah 9, start at verse 6.
For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Now, they say, this is Isaiah, and that's what we need to harp on. We harping on the Almighty God. Explain the Almighty God to me. I know, so they was trying to say that same thing in North Carolina, huh?
I mean, he went to some little spots, and again, I try my best to sit back with that, but I interrupt their service.
Right, right.
So I listened to a lot of stuff, and then once the prostitution thing came up, that's when I was like, wait a minute.
But he said that in a sermon?
It was like, Did I talk to you about that?
You put it, we was exchanged, and we was talking about the linguine Alfredo version, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. My dude brought up prostitution in the sermon? What? Okay. That's weird. But read that again. Read those titles again.
And his name shall be called Wonderful.
Okay, that could be anybody, right? I guess. Go ahead.
Counselor.
I guess that could be anybody. Go ahead.
The Mighty God.
We got a problem. We have got a problem. That shows God being born. It says, unto us a child is, read verse 6 from the top, please, sir.
For unto us a child is born.
Now we're going to jump directly to his name being the Mighty God. We see God being born. Now, in this book, there's only one person that was born and was said to be God. And I can literally use eyewitnesses against the hypothesis that he is not God, he's the Son of God, because why did the charges that the Pharisees levied against him, what was the charge? Him saying that he maketh himself God.
Exactly.
So that's the eyewitnesses. But again, Old Testament, a child is born,
To us a son is given.
a son is given, and one of his names is the mighty God. What's another one of his names, sir?
The everlasting Father.
I don't even know how somebody help me. Loon, my guy, help me, help you. Go ahead, brother.
The Prince of Peace.
Come on.
Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end.
Now let's figure out who we're talking about. Go ahead, sir.
Upon the throne of David.
Stop. What are we talking about? He's not God? Oh, he's not God, but he's called the everlasting Father. So he's called the everlasting Father, and he's called the mighty God, and he's born, and he's sitting on the throne of David. There's only one person that fits that criteria. Now I know this is what they want to say. Well, see, Solomon and all the kings of Judah sat on the throne of David. The only problem with that is, in reality, who's sitting on the throne of David right now? It says unto him, this guy right here, his kingdom shall be no end.
Right.
So who's sitting on the throne? If that's the case, the kingdom has ended for all of David's lineage and descendants. That's why we in America right now, and in southern, South America. Right. Because we don't have a king and a homeland. Well, we have a homeland, but we're not in our homeland with our national monument, which is the temple, with priests executing a sacrifice. Stop playing. They goofy, homie. Go ahead, man.
All right. I'm going to start at the top.
Come on.
Verse 7.
Come on.
Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end. Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this.
I mean, so that's one script. Let's go to Micah 5. Let's go to Micah. If they want to play games, that's fine. They could play games. They could play if they want to. I just had a host of book just flood my head all of a sudden. They want to play, we can play. Okay. Tony Montana. Okay. Okay. See, what was that other one I wanted to use? I'm sorry, Micah 5, we can start at verse 1, but before we do that, let me let that thought hit my head. Or maybe I should just, go ahead and read, bro. Let me remember that one I wanted to, go ahead, though. Micah 5, verse 1, go ahead.
Now, gather thyself in troops, O daughter of troops. He hath laid siege against us. They shall smite the judge of Israel with a rod upon the cheek.
So the judge of Israel, I mean, that could be, there was a whole bunch of judges of Israel, that wasn't one person in particular, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, dude, go ahead.
But thou, Bethlehem, Ephrathah.
Stop. So we talking Bethlehem, we talking a judge out of Bethlehem, Ephrathah. Herod knew who that was. See, the eyewitnesses know the people in the book, and see, that's what you got to do. We got to put these clowns on a timeline, trap them on a timeline, and come on now. You heard? Go ahead, my brother. Verse 2 from the Tizzle.
But thou, Bethlehem, Ephrathah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah.
Stop. What we talking about? What the problem is. Like my white homeboy said to me, what the problem is. Go ahead. It was funny too. I was like, that was good. He's an old 60-year-old white man too. He's like, hey, I don't know, what the problem is. I know, right?
Yet,
Go ahead, bro.
out of thee he shall come forth unto me.
Wait a minute, hold up. He shall come forth unto me. The Lord God will raise up a prophet from among your brethren. He will, if you don't listen to all the words that he shall speak, that I will put in his mouth. This just say he shall come to me. Who are we talking about? We see two people here, right? He shall come to me. Now this is the Lord talking. This is the Lord talking. So it says he, this guy from Bethlehem Ephratah, that's smallest among Judah, is going to come to me. Who's me? Go ahead, sir.
That is to be ruler in Israel.
We just read that when it said he will sit upon the throne of David. Go ahead.
Whose going forth have been from of old, from everlasting.
Bam, now I just jumped in my head. From old and from everlasting?
Christ.
What we talking about?
In the beginning was the
Join the home piranha pit. I got something to add.
You need you did a line real quick?
Yeah, but it's kind of just to add on with the precepts.
Come on now.
Uh,
Hold that mic, put a marker in Micah, because we're gonna come back to it. You know, we snorting book right now. Come on, man, what you got?
Genesis 49.
Come on, come on. Yep, let's go to Genesis 49. Come on, Heath, I know you got a syringe in your back pocket someplace. Stop playing. Genesis 49.
Yeah, because that Micah you just set the lob up.
Come on now. That nice Elijah wine going on right now.
49, you could read 9 through, you can read 9 and 10. Just keep it.
Oh, you being nice.
Yeah, because I know
No, you're not. Don't stop at 10. Go all the way to 12, man. He playing.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Don't snort that page, man. Snort them pages. Get them pants.
Line upon line.
Genesis 49. Hey, Shaheed. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Get them pants. Genesis 49. Go ahead, give me 9 through 11, man. Come on. 9 through 12. Go ahead.
Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, as an old lion, and as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up?
Go ahead. We talking about Judah. We talking about the lion from the tribe of Judah. Everybody knows who that is, but probably they're going to forget who the lion from the tribe of Judah is. You know, that was, David. Go ahead, bro.
The scepter shall not depart from Judah.
Stop. His throne.
That seals it up.
Everlasting. Go ahead, sir.
The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
We know who that is. Go ahead.
Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine.
Come on.
He washed his garment in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes.
I mean, come on now. Go ahead.
His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk.
And we ain't talking about we ain't talking about Nathaniel from IUIC. The Jesus picture look like him. If you look at it, look like him, don't it? Man, come on now. Word up. You look at the picture, man. They playing. Micah 5. Yeah, I mean, they done made him the Most High for some strange reason. You look at the picture, it look like him. Micah 5. And plus, you ain't supposed to have no images anyway, so like Lee told the brother with the fringes, okay, you worried about my fringes, why do you have a poster of God?
Yeah, people don't realize Christ didn't make himself of no reputation. He wasn't like this cat you would admire. It says it in Isaiah.
Come on now. Back to Micah 5.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun. Because see, now we're going to put him in a straitjacket. We're going to wrap him up in some barbed wire, and we're going to just start inching him up, and they're going to find themselves hanging in the sky saying, Uncle, please put me back down. Micah 5, verse 3. So we ended off with the end of verse 2 says, here the going forth have been from old, from everlasting. Verse 3, please.
All right. Therefore will he give them up until the time that which he which travaileth have brought forth. Then the remnant of his brethren shall return unto the children of Israel.
That's a mouthful in and of itself. That goes with that Isaiah 9 and Isaiah 11, etc. Verse 4, sir.
And he shall stand and feed in the strength of the Lord, and the majesty of the name of the Lord his God.
Stop. In the name of his God. Remember what did the Lord say in Deuteronomy? If you don't know, I'm going to raise up a prophet like unto Moses. You need to obey all the words that he's going to say in my name. He said he's going to speak them words. Matter of fact, let's go back to Deuteronomy 18 real quick and parallel precept that real fast. If they want to play, that's fine. We parallel precept in that Micah 5. The Micah 5 in verse 4, the ending part of the middle of verse 4 says, and feed in the strength of the Lord in the majesty of the name of the Lord his God. We parallel precept in the Deuteronomy 18. When it says, verse 19, sir, specifically the end of verse 19, parallel precept. If they want to play, that's fine. Deuteronomy 18, verse 19. Go ahead, sir.
And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him.
Let's go back to Micah 5. Read Micah 5. Give me verse 4 once more. In the majesty of the Lord God, in the name of his Lord God. And we know that Christ had the Father's name, took the Father's name, spoke all the words in the name of the Father, per Deuteronomy 18. If they want to play, that's fine, but we ain't going to let them play. Micah 5, give me verse 4. Go ahead, bro.
And he shall stand and feed in the strength of the Lord, in the majesty of the name of the Lord his God.
Come on.
And they shall abide.
Come on.
For now he shall be great unto the ends of the earth.
Now let's go to Daniel real quick. They want to play games? They're going to have to explain this one.
You use them all Old Testament.
I mean, yeah, I'm just playing with them right now. Too quick. Yeah. You got one on the scepter? All right, we got the precept to the scepter right after the Daniel real quick. They gotta like Ricky Ricardo said, they gotta explain. They gotta explain this. They gotta explain this. Explain, homie. Okay. The Daniel 7, and give me verse 9.
Yes, sir.
Verse Nina in the funk house, like you rolling dice.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame.
Stop. No, finish that off, please.
And his wheels is burning fire.
Is that the Father?
No, that's his son.
Right. So they got it. So if the Son's not God, and everybody in the common reality that we all share knows the description of Christ, they will have to be intellectually dishonest to pretend that this is not Christ surely by the description. Stop playing. Go ahead, bro. What you got with that scepter?
Genesis 49:10. Go to Psalms 45, 6 and 7.
That part right there. Yeah, I mean, literally, you can go on and on, man. Which I don't have a problem going on and on. Let's play with them. While we do that, Psalms 45. Let me see if we got some online questions. Hold on, real quick.
Got it. Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. The scepter of thy kingdom is a right scepter. Thou lovest righteousness and hatest wickedness. Therefore, God, thy God, has anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. All thy garments.
Smash Mouth Pumpkin.
The God, die God. Yeah, because God anointed God, but that's separate.
Isaiah 45. Isaiah 45.
Enough. They'll be all right. Who got the next question?
Isaiah 45 said
6 and 7. 45, 11. Right.
McGregor style.
Yeah. Oh, there is a fight tonight, huh?
Conor McGregor.
Oh. Oh, right, huh? Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel and his Maker. Ask me of
Isaiah
things.
45, verse 11.
Oh,
Go ahead, start from the top. Go ahead, bro.
alrighty. Thus saith the Lord, the Holy One of Israel and his Maker. Ask me of things to come concerning my sons, and concerning the work of my hands. Command ye me. I have made the earth.
That's it.
It says and his maker.
Yup.
So it's two in the Godhead.
That part.
That's what it's saying right here.
What you just saw.
So the Father is the Holy One of Israel, and the Son is the Holy One of Israel.
Yup. They share titles. My Lord said to my Lord, sit down at my right hand till I make thy enemies your footstool. You know that one. But they might try to weasel out of that and say, it says Lord, so it don't say God. So no, well, I don't know. I've never read where the Father is Christ God. No, without question, because he says, my God, my God, my God.
And you can try to go to some Emmanuel means God is with us.
Right. Like, I mean, he says, back to Daniel 7 real quick. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, you said that's it. I can't see it. Are we streaming? Because I cannot find us. I can't find us right now. Hold on, let me see something. Did he? Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna find y'all on the phone. Technical difficulties. Ah, there we go. 14 people watching. All right. Let me turn this down because I know I sound like a crazy person. All right. There goes Debbie Deb. What's up, Debbie Deb? Oh, okay. Debbie Deb got a question. Wait, hold on. Let me scroll back up. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, it says, regarding the Gentile dynasty statue, what is the clay on the feet supposed to represent? Okay. Let's go to Daniel, what is that? Daniel 2 or Daniel 4? See, he's the son of God, but he's not God. Dude, if a puppy is a baby dog, right? It's still a dog. It's of the same species. If I'm the son of God, well, see, it said, you know, oh, man. Preach. Good point. Excellent point, because every human being sin. Wait, where did I say go? Oh, okay.
Well, you said to it, but
It's
it's Daniel 2.
Daniel 2?
Yes, Daniel 2.
All right. Daniel 2. All right, so Daniel 2. Say 31? Give me latter days. Hold on real quick. Yeah. 31. 31's good. Yep.
Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay.
Come on.
Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces.
Come on.
Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together.
So it literally started from the bottom up. So Debbie, the king, I'm like, who am I talking to? It started from the bottom, now we're here. It started from, so basically the gold is the top, the Gentile, because I know people will, it don't say Gentile dynasty, brother. Okay, fine. The Gentile, the times of the Gentiles, it does say that. The times of the Gentiles starts with Nebuchadnezzar, and then it goes all the way down to these toes. It's the same, the thing we have to understand is, and this feels weird talking to a camera, the thing we have to understand is the kingdom, this is all the same kingdom, but it's different rulers in the same kingdom. It's the times of the Gentiles. That's what this kingdom represents. Like, this is a changing of the guard from the Assyrians to the Gentile, quote-unquote, dynasty, right? So, you said, what do the 10 toes represent? Let me make sure that man, it looks like we are broadcasting on a shoe phone right now, man. This joint look straight muggy. What is the clay on the feet supposed to represent? Oh, so you want to know what the clay represents. Oh, okay, hold on real quick. Let's get into it. And yeah, there we go. Skip down the verse. So basically just represents the weakness of the kingdom, the weak alliance that this kingdom has. That's all it is. It's just a frailty that they have. Skip down the verse. No, bump that. Start reading the verse. So did we finish out? It smote the whole, and then the wind carried it away. Give me 35, man, again from the tizzle. Go ahead, bro.
Then was the iron and the clay.
You got some water? You need some water? Okay, go ahead.
Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors.
Come on.
And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth.
Now hold this thought, hold a marker in Daniel 2. We're going to go to Daniel 7, and we're going to hit verse 27. Because it's like the Lord will, talking to a camera. The Lord will run everything down, and because he knows we're made out of mud and we're stupid, he will run it all the way from the beginning again to reiterate the fact that, to reiterate what he just said, right? So he just ran it down. He's going to take a break and then talk about something else in Daniel 2 and then go back to running it back down. I'm cutting to the chase concerning the disposition of the kingdom as per what we just read. So it said that this rock is going to smoke the image on the feet and it become a great mountain. Let's cut straight to that. Daniel 7, and here we go. Give me verse 21. Give me 21 and we're going to dance. Go ahead, bro.
I beheld the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
Stop. This just said the Ancient of Days came, I just left it out, but we know the Father ain't coming. I mean, that's why I went to the Ancient of Days, but I felt the description would flush out if they would be intellectually dishonest or not. But if they want to be intellectually dishonest and say that's the description of the Father, then take them to that Ancient of Days and say, so the Father is coming, or is the Son coming? Because we all know who's supposed to come. I mean, come on. We playing? I mean, come on, we playing. But all right, so back to this question. Verse 23. 23, go ahead, bro.
Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break it in pieces.
Skip down to verse 26. Verse 26, go ahead, bro.
But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end.
Come on now.
And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven.
Stop. Under! Gotta get that buoy out every now and again. Go ahead.
Shall be
Peace. Be safe. You be a good Cinderella, you hear me? All right. Go ahead, brother.
All right. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven.
All right.
shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
So, Sister Debbie, you see ultimately, now we go back to Daniel 2, ultimately that stone that hit those toes, those clay and iron toes, because it's clay and iron, and I'll let the Bible tell you what the clay represents, but the mountain or the rock that hit it that became a gigantic mountain that filled the earth, of course that's Christ, and of course that's Christ's rulership, Brandon, per what we just read with Bethlehem, Ephratah, blah, blah, blah. Now, to answer your question specifically concerning the clay and what does the clay on them toes represent, and them toes ain't the boomerang toes, but they toes nonetheless. Skip down to verse 39. Verse 39, go ahead, brother. Daniel 3:39.
Oh.
2:39, I'm sorry. Daniel 2:39.
All right.
Yes.
And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom, okay, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee.
Let's do this. Let's skip back up to 36. Because again, the Lord will tell you exactly from the rooter to the tutor, from A to Z, and then he'll stop, and then he'll go into great detail from A to, like in other words, he'll go A, B, and C, E, F, D, H, I, J, instead of going A to Z. So right now he's about to go A, B, C, E, F, G, H, I, you guys get it. Go ahead, verse 36. Now this is the technical, this is the granular breakdown of those kingdoms. Go ahead, sir. 36.
This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king.
Come on.
Thou, O king, art king of kings, for the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the heaven, hath he given into thine hand, and he hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold.
So now he's getting into the minutia, the fine granular details, A, B, and C versus A, P, Z. Now he's going A, B, C. Go ahead, sir.
And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth.
So we know gold is stronger than brass. And eventually what happens, it just gets down to these toes that's made out of pig iron and clay, which just shows you the strength diminishing of the kingdom, literally. Like there's still, now don't get it twisted, the fourth kingdom is described as a vicious, terrible beast because of the spiritual connotation, like iron.
Iron is strong. It goes actually, it's been like that.
Huh.
Shows how strong the Roman Empire is wide. So iron is a strong.
Right, and the clay, that's why it's iron and clay, right. I stand corrected on the metallurgy, by the way. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. But, right, when it gets, well, I'll let the book tell you. Go ahead, sir, go ahead. Verse 40.
And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Come on now.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay, and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
Stop. Now here we go. So we know that at a point in time, Rome broke into basically two capitals. It was the Eastern and it was the Western. And Constantinople became the actual, the seat of power under Constantine. That's why it was called Constantinople. So the king was still the Holy Roman Empire, so to speak, but it was kind of broken, and the east of the kingdom had waned, and the west was getting stronger. Hence Constantinople. Hence, if in history, two segments, or should I say the kingdom basically split, literally. So when we talk about the kingdom going from being unified and strong to basically split, and again, like, you know, like Shahi was talking about the metallurgy component, like iron is strong and you don't want to get hit with no iron, but I'll let the book tell you, man. I don't need to elaborate. So basically that clay represents the strength of, or should I say, the strength of the unity of the kingdom. That's basically what it's talking about. And then now we got to get into the EU and everything else, and we'll get into that in a moment. Go ahead, sir. Verse 41. Give me 41 again.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron.
And we know that clay and iron does not mesh. It does not. Go ahead.
The kingdom should be divided.
That's what we're talking about, a kingdom being divided. That's what we're talking about. Go ahead.
But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
So it was still the Roman Empire, and then it became the Holy Roman Empire, right? But the reality of the game is that the kingdom, the Roman Empire did split. It literally did split. So all we're talking about is just, the clay just represents the strength of the kingdom, basically. Go ahead.
And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
That's all the clay represents. It represents the tenuous, or should I say the untenable nature of iron and clay with regards to the Holy Roman Empire and the split. And I mean, there was a lot of infighting and wars, etc. But again, what they say, absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's the problem. I mean, at the end of the day, the problem with the Holy Roman Empire is, while they all come under the banner of the Roman Empire, it's still infighting. It's still people that want to assert and have more power than the other one. So, like for instance, with drug cartels. I know this is a weird example, but drug cartels. You'll have the Sinaloa cartel, and the Sinaloa cartel is moving X amount of keys of cocaine. And the cartel in and of itself is not saying it's unbeatable, but it's unbeatable. Nobody can mess with it. But still there is infighting inside the cartel for power, for routes, etc. Same thing with the Roman Empire, right? That's basically what it's talking. That's what the clay represents. It just represents the fact that the king was not. The kingdom was not completely united. It was under the banner of the Roman Empire, but it was still split, and it was still fragile in some pieces and places. Go ahead. So verse 43.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
And if you go into history and you see the various alliances that Rome made, like for instance, it was called the Greco-Roman Empire, then it became the Holy Roman Empire, and then even still there was fighting among the Roman Empire. And even, well, we'll read this and then we'll go to the 10, and then we'll illustrate something out of there. Verse 44, sir. Verse 44.
And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
Which is what we read. Go ahead, sir.
For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands,
That's
and,
the stone that the builders rejected, which is Christ. Go ahead.
and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, and the silver, and the gold.
So basically, it collapsed the kingdom from the bottom up. Go ahead.
The great God have made known the king that shall come to pass hereafter.
Hereafter. Go ahead.
And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure.
So, to answer your question with regards to the clay, skip back up to verse 41.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided.
That's what it's talking about. Go ahead, sir.
But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
People still shook at the Roman Empire, but I mean, it wasn't in his, basically it's like, look, in his glory days it was this, in the final days it's going to be basically loose alliances that are going to fall apart in reality. Like for instance with the EU, and we'll get into that in a moment, but being specific about the clay, that's what the book says. Finish reading that, sir.
And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom should be partly strong and partly broken.
That's what we're talking about. Now let's go to Revelation 7. I'm sorry, not Revelation 7, Revelation 14. Nope. Revelation 17, there we go. All right, Revelation, so now, buoy voice. He said, now look, Revelation 17. So we're talking about, so now that we had so you understand what the clay represented on them toes? Here, type that up in there real quick so I can understand. Debbie, you get what that clay was?
Love y'all.
G's moving. About to go watch that fight, huh?
Hey, Brandon, you mind taking over? You mind taking over?
I'm at the mercy of who I wrote.
Oh, okay.
All right, well,
Take over.
yeah, jump up. You're fired. No, I'm just joking with you. G's moving. All right, my brother. Peace. Debbie Deb. All right. Okay, Debbie Deb is good in the hood, so no need to go any deeper. That's a cowboy song right there. All right, so we got Sherry. Hey, Sherry, how you doing? All right, so Sister Sherry got a question, and it says, if the Most High still blesses people because they believe, like the centurion whose soldier was ill, and the woman that he told he came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, why do we have to keep his commandments, or can we just believe? Well, I got a woman way over town. It's good to me. If it was just that easy to believe, then like I'll give you an old Southern proverb. You could make the mouth say anything. Right? Let's say, why do we have to keep his commandments? Can we just believe? And the answer is unequivocally no, nunca, and yet. And I'm going to fly F-35 and I'm going to carpet bomb some stuff. Revelation 14 real quick.
You could put a 9 in there too.
Nine. German. Speak die Dutch? Speak die Deutsch? 9. We ain't talking about that pistol. Revelation 14, start reading at verse, yes, Revelation 14. So the question is, can we just believe? Why we got to keep his commandments? Can we just believe? And the answer emphatically is, you can make your mouth say anything, but your actions speak louder than your mouth. How do you prove to... Well, we're just going to roll with it. We're just going to have some fun. Revelation 14, start reading at verse 11. Revelation 14, verse 11. Go ahead, my brother.
And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
So just like an action can have you screwed up and torn and destroyed forever, guess what? Taking the mark of the beast will have you destroyed forever without discussion. And if you take the mark of the beast, you could say to God, I'm sorry, Lord, please forgive me. I didn't mean to take it. I won't, give me another shot. Baby, please. But taking the mark of the beast or the number of his name or worshiping him is a one-way trip to a lava pit. But to answer your question specifically, can we just believe? Why do we have to keep his commandments? Can we just believe? And then we're going to get into the centurion and the woman whose daughter had a devil. We'll get to why he did what he did. Give me the crux, verse 12, sir. Go ahead.
Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus.
So it's both. It's not just one. It's both. Period in the story. Go to Revelation 12. It's always been both. Revelation 12. Start at verse 17. Just give me verse 17. We're flying to 35. Revelation 12, verse 17. Go ahead.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
It's both. You can't just believe. Matter of fact, watch this. There's going to be some people that believe something. Watch this. But that doesn't make it. Just because you say you believe, does that make it true? Let's go to Matthew real quick. Matthew 7. You saying you believe, and I'm not talking about you, sis. I'm just saying in general, somebody saying they believe doesn't mean what they say, a hill of beans. It doesn't mean a hill of beans. Matthew 7. Watch this. Start reading at verse 15. So we can't separate belief from the commandments, and we certainly can't separate the two. The two are mutually they are conjoined. Period. Matthew 7. We're gonna start reading at verse 15. Verse 15. Give me 15 through 23. 15 through 23. Go ahead, my brother.
Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
This is a warning for our time frame. Well, you know what? Let me not say exclusively our time frame. False prophets going to always be around, right? It just seems like it's a copious amount or a plethora of false prophets nowadays, but they always have been. There was 450 prophets of Baal that, so never mind that statement, strike that statement. But beware of false prophets they come in with sheep's clothing, but inwardly are hungry wolves. They Duran, okay? Hungry like the wolf. Go ahead.
Ye shall know them by their fruits.
Go ahead.
Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?
So when we talk about fruits, what are we talking about? We're talking about their actions, not what they say, but their actions. Go ahead, sir.
Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
Come on.
A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit.
Come on.
Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
Come on.
Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Stop. So we talking about actions. Fruit is actions. Fruit are things that, like when it talks about the mustard seed and faith, right? And faith carries you through the tough times to continue to demonstrate your obedience. Because the world is always trying to twist our cap and make us disobey God by the lust of this life, so to speak, okay? But he said, every tree that does not bring forth good fruit is cut down, which is killed, and cast into the fire, which is the lake of fire. So he's talking about, look, if your actions do not prove, if your actions do not show and prove, or like Gangstar said, they do not manifest, you're going to get killed dos times. Verse 19, I'm sorry, yeah, verse 20, sir, verse 20, go ahead.
Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them.
So by their actions, you're going to know them. Then watch this, on the flip side of the game, your actions, if they're not the right actions, don't mean a hill of beans either. Go ahead, sir.
Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
And we know what the will is. Like it says, the Lord God, well, we'll get to that in a moment. I'm getting ahead of myself. Go ahead, sir.
Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
So clearly the Lord is talking, he's saying that you have to do more than just pay him lip service, and you have to do actions according to knowledge. Because here they're talking about casting out devils, which, I mean, in reality, there's no commandment that says thou shalt cast out devils. In reality. And in reality, not everybody has, quote unquote, the gift of prophecy, so to speak. We all have the gift of prophecy now, because all we got to do is read this. But for the timeline that they were in, not everybody was able to get a word from the Lord and be like, thus saith the Lord, in real time with an angel telling them to say this, like on the book of Acts. So the point is, even your actions have to be according to knowledge. So you have to have the faith of Christ, or the testimony of Christ, which is the spirit of prophecy, and I won't even get into that. You have to have that, and you have to have the commandments, doing them, keeping them. Now watch this. So with regards to the question of if the Lord, well, watch this. Yeah. See. Right. Go for it.
We're just going to read, in addition to what Brother Fon is bringing out, Revelation chapter 22. We'll start at verse 14. Just to continue in the same direction that we need to keep the commandments and have the faith of Jesus.
Go ahead, brother.
Verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
Yikes. And how are you going to know to not make a lie? The law, statutes, and judgments. And how will you continue to know that you're not supposed to make a lie when you run into a situation where you want to lie to either say, because you want to lie to get out of the situation so you don't look bad or you benefit in some way. Because, I mean, honestly, that when we transgress, it's really a selfish motive typically behind transgression. How will you know not to tell a lie? You didn't read the Bible, and the Bible has told you that all lies are going to find their way in the lake of fire, and it also told you should not bear false witness, which means don't tell a lie. So now let's go to Mark 7. You done with that?
Yeah, that was just
All right, Mark 7.
two-piece.
Beep beep. Dark spicy with rice. Mark 7. Now here's the thing. Watch this, sis. Just because he healed her daughter doesn't mean her daughter or her is going to make it into the kingdom, and he did not say that. He just healed her daughter because of her faith. He did not say, you will be in the kingdom with me because I'm healing your daughter, or your daughter is going to be in the kingdom with me. So the reason why he did that was to illustrate to these stiff-necked brews like, yo, why are all these people outside of the nation of Israel believing me and y'all not? But don't get it twisted. In him healing her, it does not mean that she's going to make it into the kingdom. So let's not confuse that. Let's not confuse a miracle for a poof, you're going to be into the kingdom. It's not that easy. Getting to the kingdom is hard. Mark 7. Start reading it right now. Start reading at verse 24. And somebody got to explain when it talks about Jeremiah, when it says, prophesy unto the Gentiles. And notice it talks about these two places right here, Tyre and Zidon. Left that out of the lesson last week.
Yeah,
but anyway.
it's just so much,
Man, that's why I didn't want to make the lesson like 3 hours. It was just been crazy. Mark 7, verse 24. Mark 7, verse 24. Go ahead, my brother. Now, this is Jesus we talking about, sis. Go ahead.
And from thence he arose and went into the borders of Tyre and Zidon, and entered into an house, and would have no man, and would have. And from thence he arose and went into the borders of Tyre and Zidon, and entered in an house, and would have no man know it, but he could not be hid.
So Jesus had it popping. He didn't even want to make a big scene or a big deal about him being where he was, but at the end of the day, see, he was about to break protocol, but at the end of the day, he couldn't be heard because Israel can't hold water. If you want everybody to know something, tell Israel and everybody know about it. Go ahead, brother.
For a certain woman, whose young daughter had an unclean spirit, heard of him, and came and fell at his feet.
Come on.
The woman was a Greek.
See, that means she was an Israelite that spoke. No, I'm just joking.
The woman was a Greek.
That she was an actual Greek.
A Syrophoenician by nation.
She was not Israel. She was a Greek. There were Greeks in the land? Yes, there were Gentiles in the land. Goodness gracious. Go ahead, bro.
And she besought him that he would cast forth the devil out of her daughter.
Come on.
But Jesus said unto her, let the children first be filled, for it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it unto the dogs.
Come on.
And she answered and said unto him, yes, Lord, get the dogs under the table eat of the children's crumbs.
Come on now.
And he said unto her, for this saying go thy way, the devil is gone out of thy daughter.
So first and foremost, she heard of him and she was taking a shot. It doesn't say she was a follower of his. It doesn't say she followed him afterwards. And as a matter of fact, he healed her because of her saying, which was, hey, look, I know my position, but help. The humility is what got her daughter healed, right? Doesn't say she was a follower of Christ. It doesn't say from that point forward she followed Christ and blah, blah, blah. So let's not impose salvation on this woman, because the conversation that you and I are having right now is about salvation, not a healing or random occurrences. It's about what does it take to have salvation. You ready to jump in, man? Go ahead.
And when she was come to her house, she found the devil gone out, and her daughter laid upon the bed.
All right, so that's that. Now let's go to the centurion, which I didn't bring up the centurions and all that stuff in the lesson because I didn't want the lesson to be 10,000 hours long, man. Really. Hold on real quick. All right. Matthew 8. Matthew 8. Matthew, as they say when you shoot dice, Matthew skate. Matthew skate. Let's start reading in verse. Thank you, sir. Matthew skate. And let's start reading in verse 3. Matthew skate, verse 3. Matthew skate, verse 3. Go ahead, bro.
And Jesus put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed.
Come on.
And Jesus saith unto him,
See thou, tell no man, but go thy way. Shew thyself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moses commanded, for a testimony unto them.
Come on.
And when Jesus was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Jesus saith unto him, I will come and heal him.
Come on.
The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof.
Stop. All right, brother. Peace. So again, we see humility here. We see, yes, these people did know of Jesus. They were seeking Jesus because everybody was seeking Jesus. But what we see is the humility in these people and the faith of these people. When I say these people, we talking about a Greek and we talking about a Roman centurion. And Roman centurions had, I know people want to sell the doctrine that, oh, and every time you see centurion, it just meant an Israelite that had a real good job. But centurions had special powers. They weren't like regular auxiliary soldiers that Romans would thank you, sir, that Romans would hire of the general populace. The centurions had powers that were literally direct from the Caesars, and furthermore, he's not here, his voice, they would typically command, I want to say, 300 to 500 people. So centurions, it was a bit more than just a really good job. And let's be real, you know the Gentiles ain't gonna give no Hebrew power to control 300 to 400 men with their occupying army.
It's an insurrection,
That part right there. That part. They're going to be like, yeah, you can command maybe 5 or 10 people and sweep the floors. Verse 8, though. Verse 8, go ahead, brother.
The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed.
Come on.
For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me.
Stop. This corroborates exactly what I'm talking about. Go ahead, sir.
And I say to this man, Go, and he goeth, and to another, Come, and he cometh, and to my servant, Do this, and he doeth it.
Come on.
When Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to them that follow, Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel.
So the belief that, peace, my brother, the belief that Christ could do something because of what they had heard from him, that is what they believed in, right? They knew he could, the centurion knew that the Lord could do these things that everyone was saying about him. But again, this does not say that the centurion was a follower of Christ to his death. It does not state that. So we can't impose that on the scriptures. We just have to read what the scriptures are talking about. Go ahead, sir.
And I say unto you, that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Go ahead, sir.
And Jesus said unto the centurion, Go thy way, and as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee.
Again, we're not talking about salvation. He's talking about his servant being healed. Go ahead, sir.
And his servant was healed in the selfsame hour.
Not his servant and him have salvation. So again, what we're talking about is definitively not salvation related. We're just talking about they were healed of various, of spiritual, they were healed of spiritual issues, demons, sicknesses, but that's not salvation related. Like on the real. So you good, sister? You need a little bit of nizzle. That means more. Hold on real quick. Let me jump back to you.
Sim, you ready to read now?
Sim is fired. Asa, you up to read? Oh, I thought you was about to dip while skip.
No, that's what I was setting up.
Oh, okay.
We got be running low on manpower.
And we got this guy,
Oh,
Ace of Spades, that gold bottle of the Ace of Spades. Come on up here, gold bottle. I'm gonna fire you, man.
tired me.
Yeah, you're fired. Donald Trump, you're fired.
Protect Tiger Woods tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, go and get that Tiger Woods money.
Nah, he actually
Oh,
golf tournament down there.
hey, get that bread Sanford, brother.
Ring.
Get that bread Sanford, my brother.
Hoodie and everything.
That part. Appreciate you, man. Yes, sir. All right, then. The Son of God. Yeah, they on that Son of God stuff. All right, so you said, okay, I understand, bro. It's kind of like the law of attraction thing, but it doesn't mean salvation in the end unless you keep his commandments. Not necessarily the law of attraction, because that's kind of one of those, that's kind of metaphysical. That's a metaphysical proposition. But basically, yeah, if it ain't, to get salvation, there's belief and keeping of the commandments, doing what the Lord says to do. It's not a cakewalk. I'm here to tell you, it is not a cakewalk. Okay, Devana, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. What's up with you? Sherry, you in Pine Bluff? All right, so I got a question out of 1 Samuel 7. 1 Samuel 7. First Samuel 7. First Samuel 7 and one verse 10. Or if you roll dice, tension. Verse tension. First Samuel 7, verse 10. And all right, so the question is, so read First Samuel 7, verse 10, please.
And as Samuel was offering up the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near to battle against Israel. But the Lord thundered with a great thunder on that day upon the Philistines, and discomfited them.
Discomfited. Mm-hmm.
And discomfited them, and they were smitten before Israel.
And the question is, did the thunder of the Lord kill the Philistines, and has God killed anyone with lightning or thunder in the Bible? So two different questions. So it doesn't say that it was killed by the thunder and lightning. It says that he thundered. So okay, let me show you this. So when we talk about thunder, watch this. That was none other than an angel. Watch this. Let me jump out of here real quick. Let me show you what this was. Hey! We dancing with the stars right now. So when we talk about, did he kill him with the thunder? Nah. What it was the angels. Go to let's go to Revelation 10. That was none other than the angels. And then the Lord, however he discomfited them, I'll show you the example, but what the angels did to discomfit them and basically twist their minds to where they, well, I'll show you more examples. Revelation 10, start reading at verse 1. Give me verse 1. Go ahead, brother.
And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth, and cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices.
So 7 thunders. Go ahead.
And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which are the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not.
So let me show you that these 7 thunders are none other than angels. Just hold a mark on Revelation 10. Go to John 12 real quick. St. John 12. Go to St. John 12. And we're going to go 27 through 29. We're going John 12. Matter of fact, start at verse 23. Verse 23. Go ahead, my brother.
And Jesus answered them, saying, the hour is come that the Son of Man should be glorified. Verily, verily, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die and bringeth forth much fruit, he that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it until life eternal.
So that don't mean you're supposed to kill yourself. That just means This world, or the lust of life, is what you're supposed to hate. Go ahead, sir.
If any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. But for this cause came I unto this hour.
So he's like, Father, please don't let me die. I want to get out of it. I want to pull an audible. Can we pull an audible? Go ahead.
Father, glorify thy name. Then came there a voice from heaven saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again.
So there was a voice that came from heaven saying, I have glorified it and will glorify it again. Go ahead.
The people therefore that stood by and heard it said that it thundered. Others said an angel spake to him.
So the people that stood by that heard the voice said it thundered, and other people said it was an angel that spake to him. So when we talk about the thunder, or like the seven thunders, those are angels. Let's go back to Revelation 10. Back to Revelation 10. So now we have an understanding, Revelation 10. We're dealing with the thunders. The question came out of 1 Samuel, but we're dealing with the actual, when it says that it thundered, it was the angels in 1 Samuel 7. And sometimes when they hear angels communicating, it sounds like thunders. In Revelation 10, it calls them seven thunders. And it personifies them by applying voices. It says their voices, not its voice, their voices. Verse 3 again, my brother. Revelation 10, give me 3 through 4. Go ahead.
And cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth. And when he had cried, seven thunders uttered their voices.
So these are angels that are speaking. Go ahead, sir.
And when the seven thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Seal up those things which the seven thunders uttered, and write them not.
So he was about to write down what he heard those angels say, but the Lord was like, don't write down those angels talking. So a whole mysterious angel language that no human being can understand and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we don't see that here. We see angels speaking in a language that is known and could be understood and transcribed. So now that we're dealing with the, let's go back to 1 Samuel. So now, 1 Samuel, what was that? 1 Samuel 7, and we get in 10, verse 10 again. So now we're going to understand what that thunder was. Go ahead, sir.
And the men did so, and took... Is that
1 Samuel 7, verse 10.
I'm at 6, sorry.
All right, my brother. Be safe, man.
And as Samuel was offering up the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near to battle against Israel. But the Lord thundered with a great thunder on that day upon the Philistines. And this comforted them, and they were smitten before Israel.
So that means that they were confused. Discomfited just means confused. Right? So this angel, so let me show you an instance where the Lord said he's going to make, in a battle, in a whole lot of battles the Lord has done, he has utilized angels to literally make an army turn on itself and kill each other while the children of Israel just stand there and watch them kill each other. So basically what we see is this thunder, which is an angel, affecting their minds to where they're confused and they can't carry out the battle properly, and Israel just being able to pick them off. Go to Zechariah. Let me show you another example of it. All that is an angel making people crazy. So they go just like Nebuchadnezzar. When the watchers and the holy ones issued a decree to Nebuchadnezzar, and as soon as he tripped and broke protocol, all of a sudden he's running around like a dang a beast with long nails, long hair, eating grass like an ox. Zechariah 14. Zechariah 14, start at verse 3, so we'll know exactly. Matter of fact, give me verse 1. Zechariah 14, give me verse 1. Go ahead, my brother.
Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the house rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go into captivity, and the residue of people shall not be cut off from thy city.
Go ahead, brother.
Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle.
Now let me show you how he's going to fight against those nations. Skip down to verse 12. Watch this. Go ahead, brother. Zechariah 14, verse 12.
And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes.
So he's going to hit them with the Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark with the fire coming out and melting their heads. But watch this. Go ahead, sir.
And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Come on.
And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them.
So he said a great tumult from the Lord. This is what we just read in 1 Samuel 7. Again, we're seeing it in the future. A great tumult from the Lord. Go ahead, sir.
And they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor.
So all he's doing is confusing them. All right, Lady L. All he's doing is confusing them in the battle and making them fight against one another. That's exactly what's going on. So all he did in 1 Samuel 7 was just confuse them. He used an angel to confuse them, and as a result of that, they lost the battle miserably. And that's the beauty of the Lord. Like, the Lord can just snap his finger, and all of a sudden, you're fighting against the dude that you went on the battlefield to fight. Like, you went on the battlefield with an army to fight against the children of Israel. Next thing you know, the Lord's confused you. Now you fighting against your own soldiers. And that's what basically 1 Samuel's talking about, 1 Samuel 7. Now, the second part of the question was, has the Lord ever killed people with thunderbolts? And I can read to you an instance. I want to say Psalm 78. That was one instance, but I didn't talk about him yet. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. I think Psalm 78. Yes, sir. And I'm going to make this the last question, Jack. Psalm 78. Because me and this guy got to get right back up and come clean. Yeah, you just got volunteered.
Yeah, well,
No respect. No respect. I don't mean to bring any danger to you, bro. Right. Well, hey, man, I'll give you a bag of potato chips. Let me see. We'll work for food. So I can show you where the Lord used thunderbolts. I can't necessarily say he killed some people with it. Psalm 7, but I'm assuming, when you ask the question, this is what I need to ask you. When you ask the question, are you asking me, has the Lord literally struck people with thunderbolts and killed them? Is that what you're asking? I can show you this, Psalm 78, and give me 46, with 48 being the crux, but give me 46 through 49. Go ahead, my brother.
he gave also their increase unto the caterpillar, and their labor unto the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost.
So he's talking about what he did to the Egyptians. And he's talking about the various techniques that he used, but ultimately it's going to show exactly who was actually doing this destruction. We can't ascribe this destruction to just random things and inanimate things. Like, there is a mechanism. There it is. The mechanism by which these things were accomplished. This is what we're here for. Go ahead, sir.
He gave up their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks to hot thunderbolts. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger.
So we see him here, he killed some animals with some thunderbolts. If we want to take that as literal, I could see animals getting killed with thunderbolts, but go ahead.
He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation, troubled by sending evil angels among them. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence.
Go ahead, just finish that.
And smote all the firstborn in Egypt, the chief of their strength, in the tabernacles of Ham.
There it is. So, in the tabernacles of Ham, or the home of Ham, or the land of Ham, So I can see some thunderbolts getting used on flocks. I don't have anything that has thunderbolts hitting people, so I can't necessarily. Sorry, Devon, I can't give you a script where it shows a thunderbolt. You got a thunderbolt hitting a person in the face, scripture? Yeah, I can see the flocks getting served with the bolts, you know, and I ain't talking about Bolt Hussein either. So I see that, and that's it. Motion to close. Oh, wait a minute. I see you got that deer in the headlock. Okay, what's up? You got a question there, sis? Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, you know. Motion to close. Second. Stand, face the rules, and take us out. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. What happened? Oh, that was you? Yeah. My mom took mine after that.
Thank you for reading, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Oh, geez, moving across the planet. Riley. You ready, Riley?
Yeah.
Long day, long week.
What time you trying to
Come up?
Yeah, I looked at the list, this week. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, man.
Came on fast.
Right? That's because, people just dipped out or just left or whatever. What's your schedule like?
I'm free, so, I'm Kenny's probably going to meet us over here.
Okay.
So, either way, right? Usually follow us back if you come out here.
You want to say 10? Well, I'll be at we can meet at B's at 9. Jump in the van, come in here, blah, blah, blah. That way we can save on gas, now blah, 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 blah. Come on, man, let's go. Let's get the heck out of here. Got it all cleared up? Got it good.
caught him when he found him. Yeah, he came out the cave, huh? He doing much better. He was messing real bad, though. No, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was a little weird. None of his speech got messed up. Just his walking. So he might have a slight limp now. But that was the only thing. So it's like one of them ones on one side that didn't mess his speech up at all. But he was doing his thing, drinking Jack and beer, going to get hot wings, and doing it by himself. Went to the crib, laid down that night. It felt kind of funny, something. He said he woke up the next morning, and he was like fine in his mind. Wake up like, yeah, I'm gonna get the moving. Fell out. Couldn't move, like dragging himself around the place. Fine though, like Ronnie didn't know pain, just can't get up and walk. Let me try to make it big. Yeah, it worked. That's fun. That silent one they call it. Yeah, yeah. So he been down. How long ago he said this was? Oh, so he came back. Yeah, he been down. Shoot. He started calling all the time. They went out the gate. He went on there. Beating on him. Huh?
Tuesday boasting. Huh? Tuesday boasting, but you know what the Lord gave me as a retirement gift?
What's that?
He gave me the 2-seat hard drop top Mercedes SL 550. Yes, sir.
I think that you posted? No.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, she bad.
Is that right?
But we took the other part of that because I'm like, yeah, we ain't got to do all that. Yeah, we got to do all that.
That's how you do it.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome, brother. See, you got to tell Maurice he missed out. I made some homemade chicken soup. Gave my brothers that are so kind to the sisters. A nice little back. That brother messed up. He lost his. The other brother. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh. Next time you will know. I bet you learned today.
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
That's more work though. I'll be so stressed, brother. Goodness. 31 years. But I was so stressed out yesterday. I was telling the sisters, I give a charge every week, and I said, the charge is in your frustration. Don't say it. How do you deal with it? Oh my goodness. It was a firestorm. don't get a chance to see my brother Jesus. Love you so much, sir. So much.
We came up here for a photo opportunity.
Oh, you did? Oh, was it okay? Was it right out here? I know. So, get
Sit down.
you know how women are.